Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, guys. I am CallMeNakomi, and welcome back to CallMeNakomi World. I appreciate you coming out to YouTube and listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for this great entertainment content that I'm going to be bringing you guys. There's going to be more after Wheel of Time ends, but right now it's all about the Wheel of Time. Please remember, if you like sports, come on and stop by my new sports channel on YouTube called Call Me a Sports Fan. We're going to be talking about lots of different things. Right now it's football season, but basketball season's right around the corner, and so many other situations. So please call me a sports fan if you want to get some real good sports content. But let's get back into the show. Today's topic, of course, is the Wheel of Time Season 2, Episode 6. I was really looking forward to seeing what's going to go on in this episode. We have 2 more episodes after this one, so they're going to wrap it up really quickly, but I wanted to see what else they're going to be able to squeeze in. And this episode is called Eyes Without Pity. So I was really, I'm really trying to figure out what exactly this episode going to be about. But it's about no pity. That's exactly what this episode is about. Today's spoilers, we're on green today. No brake lights. Let's keep on going. We don't have no book spoilers to have to contend with or have issues with. So listen and enjoy. And also, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so before. And if you're on listening to me on podcasts, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give me a nice rating. And you can leave a comment there too. Let me know you appreciate what's going on, And I really appreciate it. I'm going to thank you in advance. But let me go ahead and get right into the thick of it. All right, so we're going to start off with Liandrin. And, she's there tending to her elderly son when she is surprised and sends some fire towards the door, but doesn't realize that it's Lanfear, and she catches it very, very easily. And she warns her, don't do that again, please. She mentions how, she swore her oaths to keep him alive, but this is not alive. He's struggling, he's struggling to even breathe, And she says, let him die and you'll be free. But Liandrin, of course, doesn't want to let him go. But Lanfear kills him anyway, and is all but tells her, serve me instead, not that you're free, Then we go to Alanna, and she's taking her 3 warders, including Lan, to a temple for the Forsaken, which is crazy. After telling him that the Amelin is in Camelin, Lan tries to leave, but is stopped and is wrapped up in air. They ask him one last time, what is his deal? What's going on with you and what's going on with you? What is his deal? And he tells them that him and Moraine found the Dragon Reborn. Dun, dun, dun. Loyal, the mighty, powerful, and surprisingly young builder, is walking around with a charcuterie board at Suroth's party. She commands him to sing, and when he does, a small bonsai tree begins to grow. And Suroth is jealous because she starts to lose the attention of all of her sycophants, and tells him, to end. You can leave. So he's like, all right, deuces. And him and Ingtar head to the hallway and start to talk. And they basically just, sharing notes about what their side project is, which is finding the horn and Egwene. The horn, Ingtar says, is in a barely guarded room somewhere in the palace, but Egwene is in a place that is on the outskirts of the palace and is heavily guarded with all the other Damani. But despite, all the things that Egwene must be going through, Loyal is determined to rescue Egwene anyway. Moraine now, she's back in her childhood room and writing a letter. And I'm assuming it's to Swan because she's talking about my dearest and, all that. And she's trying to tell her that she's been stilled. But I'm just like, she hasn't told her that already. I'm just like, come on now. She has already received letters from Swan though. And we could see that from a letter that is sitting on her table that has a seal of the Flame of Tarvalin. So I'm like, okay, well, they've been in contact at least. That's nice. And we see later Swan is actually in a carriage and she's writing a letter back, it seems. So that's very, very nice that they're keeping in contact. But the carriage just stops somewhere along the road and she prepares herself for attack, but sees that it's Lan. Later, back at the house, Moraine passes a note to one of the house servants, and tells him to take it to a blue Ajay and she'll know exactly what to do with it. And her sister comes in to tell her that the armorless seat is actually here. And I'm like, already? And she's with 14 other Aes Sedai, including Liandrin, Varen, and Lyanna. I'm like, okay, let's go. Here we go. Here we go. It's getting interesting. Earlier, though, Rand was still strapped to a wheel. And Lanfear, in her best second age couture, is perched on a throne. She asks, why don't you trust me? And he's like, hello, wheel bondage? So she releases him, and yada yada yada. I've been protecting you, and keeping Ishii out of your dreams, and you can't trust Moraine. Send her away, or I kill her. Just the usual stuff. So he does what he's told, and exits the dream. Mat and Min later are in Carrion, knee deep in a festival in the Foregate, and she starts getting spooked, thinking about her promises that she made, and later she finds her in a dream and she tells him that she's fulfilled her part of the deal. Her part of the bargain is done. But he tells her, but Rand is in Carrion. And so you need to make sure that Mat leaves with Rand. And then our deal is done. Make sure he leaves with Rand, And she's just like, but he, and she knows that he knows what her viewing was, that, Mat ends up stabbing Rand. But, of course, that's exactly what he wants to happen. Then Rand is in another dream when Ishii and Lanfear show up, and she tells him to be careful in the dream. I guess Ishii wasn't really there, or maybe that wasn't even Ishii in the dream in the first place. Who knows? And tells him you need to be careful. And she takes him to see Egwene leashed in a cell in Falme, and says that Ishii has her. So he goes to see Logain, knowing that he has to go to work. Who is playing stones in the courtyard. Logain is playing stones, it looks like, in the courtyard. And Rand wants to learn some battle weaves from him. But Logain's just like, it took me years to learn that on my own. You know what I'm saying? He tells Rand to grab the source, not surrender to it. But Rand obviously grabs way too much, and it's glowing like the sun in the middle of the courtyard. And obviously nobody could see him but Logain. And Logain warns him, don't pull on too much or you're going to burn yourself out, and you're strong. So you're so strong, you could probably beat anybody. So Rand feels confident at least enough and decides to leave. And so Rand leaves the asylum, and he hears a familiar voice as he walks through the Foregate, and he finds Mat. Mat's there trying to dice and win some money off of some poor patrons, but he ruins Mat's role. But as they see each other, they reunite and hug it out. And, Mat's like, where is everybody? And Rand hits him with it's complicated. Later they grab a table and they're having a drink, and Rand tells Mat that he left the others because he figured they'd be better off without him. He's the Dragon Reborn and all that stuff, But Mat tells him that they're not, they need you. And Rand tells him, we're not better off without you either, bro. So we need each other. And he tells Mat Ishii has Egwene in Falme, and that's where he's planning on going. So Mat's like, yo, I got shotgun, bro. Let's go hit this up. Let's go figure out, let's go get this done. And so he tells Rand to meet him in 1 hour at the gate while he goes and breaks a girl's heart. So he goes and finds Min, drinking away her sorrows in her room, and tells her that, hey, I found Rand. We're going to leave and go, and hit the road. And she tells him, don't do that. She tells him about his viewing, and he's just like, you're wrong. I'm not going to do that to Rand. That's not going to happen. But she tells him, if you love him, don't go. And he's torn, but he leaves there anyway. So Mat is there at the gate, and he's watching Rand while he's there waiting for him. And sooner or later, Rand figures that, Mat stood him up. So he decides to leave. And while he's walking, he walks right into Land and Alana, but they won't let him go. Back in Falme, Nynaeve and Elayne are hiding out from the Sanchan. And Nynaeve is questioning the legitimacy of all Aes Sedai. I mean, I don't blame her at this point. I'm saying, hey. Elayne is casting blame on Nynaeve for, getting them into the situation in the first place. But, girl, didn't nobody but your nosy ass got you into this situation in the first place. So, pump your brakes. You know what I mean? Plain and simple. Pump your brakes. Rima Sedai and her water return and wants to know, why did they leave the tower? Why did they leave the tower? So Nynaeve tells her about Leandrin being a dark friend and who brought them there. Rima is shocked by that, and that the fact that, okay, this means that the Black Aja actually does exist. She wants them to take the news back to the tower in person, but Nynaeve and Elayne is just like, and I am telling you, I'm not going. No, they're not. Like, I'm not leaving. And Elaine's just like, hey, she's my friend, one and only friend, the first friend, only friend that I ever had. So I'm not leaving her. So Rima decides to work with them on figuring out how to open the Adam. If that's how if they need to get Egwene, they got to figure out how to free her. So, Nynaeve asks how they got them, and Rima tells her that the Armelin Seat sent them there to investigate the rumors of the Seanchan, and they killed 2 Aes Sedai and captured a blue sitter. So Nynaeve tries to help Rima and Egwene figure out how to open it, but puts a little bit too much juice in the punch, and they get found out. Suldam and Damani descend on the inn where they're staying, and Rima decides to give herself up so that they could go, so that they could get away, and tells them to free their sisters, and gives Nynaeve the Aes Sedai rings that she collected and her own. Very deep. And she and her water go out to the streets to confront them. Her water battles the soldiers while she battles the channelers, burning Suldam in the face. And she is struck down by an arrow herself and drops to her knees and tells her water to kill her because she doesn't want to be taken. But he is killed before he can do it and is collared. And Nynaeve and Elayne, all they could do is just stand there and watch. It is what it is. So what I assume is much earlier in the day, or maybe a day earlier, Egwene is dragged into the middle of a dark cell by her brand new Adam. And you can hear a woman crying in despair, in the distance. And Egwene goes to hit the Suldam Rena with a good old Two Rivers one hit a quitter, but is repelled and writhes in pain. That is her first lesson, Rena tells her. She cannot strike a Suldam. And Egwene tries to remove the Adam and feels more pain. And that's her second lesson. You can't remove the Adam. This is your new home, she tells her. Rest up. There's going to be training to come. She hangs the bracelet on the wall and leaves. And when Rena leaves, Egwene tries to grab the bracelet, but is rebuffed again and just writhes in pains until she just throws up on the floor. Oof, poor thing. That's some real pain right there. Egwene daydreams about hitting Rena with a water pitcher. But in real life, she can't do it. She can't even touch it because every single time she touches it, she thinks of hitting Rena with it and writhes in pain again. And Rena returns and puts the bracelet back on and tells her, this is your new life now. You are not a person. You are Damani. She tries to talk to the Damani next to her sometime later. But the woman is just crying and lost in her grief, repeating the rules over and over and over again. And when Rena returns, she asks her to pour her a glass of water, but she can't and collapses on the ground in pain. So Rena just stands there and kicks her repeatedly over and over. When she comes again, she asks Egwene to pour her a glass of water. She still can't do it. And Rena is so mad, she lifts her up against the wall and hangs her on a peg from her collar. And so Egwene is just standing, this hanging there choking until she just goes limp. And then Rena decides to let her go. And when she asks her to pour her another glass of water, Egwene is able to do it. And she takes that glass of water and pours it on the ground. And I'm like, this bitch. And then on her way out, she goes, good girl. I'm like, oh, Egwene is so mad, she just starts to scream in anguish and starts sobbing. And then we see that it's an Aes Sedai in the other cell. It's Mygan, the blue sitter from season 1. And she tells her, don't cry. You lasted longer than I did, child. Oh. And that was the end of the episode. Episode 6, season 2. Whew. And I tell you, people, I got thoughts. Many, many, many thoughts. Many, many thoughts. Liandrin and Lanfear. Oh, a mother's love. You never want to see your child hurt. You never want to see your child even just skin their knee, especially when, I remember one time my daughter was so happy and she was in a nice little pretty dress and she was running towards me and she just tripped on the concrete and skinned her knee, and I just wanted to die for her. She was crying so hard because she just knew she looked cute, and she was just so happy, and just her pain is my pain, so I could imagine what Liandrin was actually going through, even though she didn't want the kid and didn't want to be married and was beaten and starved. I was like, damn, Liandrin been through it. No wonder why she doesn't like men, or at least Lanfear says she doesn't like men. And I can imagine you can not like men and still love your child. It just is what it is. And Lanfear also, okay, I see you playing that XX chromosome card, trying to say we sisters need to stick together. I feel you. I see you. Ingtar and Loyal, mad props to you for staying loyal and, trying to swallow your pride and the embarrassment, for the greater good, and do some recon for the troops. I feel you, man. Keep up the good work, Moiraine and Swan, not a good look, disappearing without letting your life partner know that you're about your struggle. I'm just saying. Just notes. Take notes. You know what I'm saying? I love that they kept in contact though. That was great. And are we going to get that Rand, you are him scene? I guess not, because he knows that he's a dragon reborn, so he doesn't need anybody to tell him that, but I'm just wondering, with all the Aes Sedai in town, one more than a baker's dozen. I was like, okay, we're going to get something, something's happening right there. But, I was interested in seeing the kind of the Aes Sedai that was brought with them. That was very interesting also, But yeah, I guess that scene is not necessary, but just wondering what's going to happen. This seems kind of ominous, and Rand and Lanfear. All I got to say is she's been milking you for months, bro. All up in your head and on your head. Who knows what kind of freaky second age stuff that y'all been up to, kind of Studio 54 things y'all been doing up in there. Then she brings up your mother figure that, you the one that you never had, and who she contends with. I'm just like, okay. And she's shiesty just like her. Ooh, you in trouble. That's all I gotta say, bro. Go and rescue your day ones and leave that 3,000-year-old cougar alone. That's all I gotta say. Forsake that chick today. As for Rand and Matt, I just hope that he, gets over his, anxiety or whatever it is, the block that he has as far as basically the self-preservation. I hope that he just gets over all that and starts, being loyal to the friends that's loyal to him, and just, stops making other people stay away from his friends, and join Rand, go to Falma. Don't believe in, what Min said, even though she's never wrong. Maybe she just interpreted it wrong. Maybe. It could happen, Min ain't she is. Min is whatever. She is what she is. And it's a lot. Anyway, and Nynaeve and Elayne, they're now on their own, and I just hope that they're able to, get in there and, and able to rescue Egwene, and hopefully the other sister that is in there, and hopefully other women that are in there, no sister left behind. Preach, sis. And Egwene, keep your head up, sis. That's all I gotta say. I know it's not easy in the D block. COs is wilding on you all the time, choking you out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting no help from the other inmates. But stay stubborn. You'll get your lick back, and your lick back is gonna be sweet. And hopefully one day you could put that water pitcher right inside of Renna's ass. That's all I gotta say. But thank you all for stopping by again for CallMeNakomi World on my Wheel of Time Season 2, Episode 6 review. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share wherever you want to see more of CallMeNakomi World. And, come and stop by Call Me a Sports Fan if you want to get some good sports content. I have it fresh and hot every single week, and we're going to, split it up to a little bit more episodes and a little bit more content as we get along. On YouTube, it's on YouTube, so go ahead and find me. Of course, you can follow me at CallMeNakomi on Instagram, CallMeNakomi1 on X, which is the platform formerly known as Twitter, and write me at CallMeNakomi@gmail.com. Remember, take care of each other. Put a hand around each other. We all we got. That's all I gotta say. We all we got. And may you always find water and shade.